What is your name? Where are you from? And what made you choose to be interviewed?
So I'm Isaiah Thomas. I'm from Springfield, Illinois, and I came here to be interviewed because I believe it's important that different perspectives be told.
What makes you proud to be Black?
So I'm proud to be black because we come from a diaspora and that has so much heritage and history attached to it. We've had struggles, but we also had innovations. We're survivors. No matter where we at, we add to our culture, and we're all committed to trying to gain our empowerment.
How has being Black in Springfield shaped your life?
So being black in Springfield has given me uh, a perspective that being anywhere else I wouldn't be able to experience, and that's important to me because it allows me whenever I go anywhere else, I'm able to. My experience with it actually aids me in being able to pretty much like analyze wherever else I go. It never leaves you, so you know what to recognize, and you can see how it differs or uh, remains retains where you go.
Sonia Massey was recently murdered by a Sangamon County police officer. What effect has this event had on you and your community?
So I feel that Springfield is a city that where the Springfield community is kind of like a lot of it likes to sweep a lot of stuff on the rug, have a clean image, but have a dirty house inside. So a lot of what we experience or what we see and even experience in other cities does happen in Springfield. It's just not talked about or it's not brought up. So Sonya's murder, it did drag that into the general conscience of the city, and it got national attention. So what I'm hoping is like it'll definitely uh, inspire the community to take this, learn from it, and you know gain more power for it.
Did you participate in any awareness activities following the event?
Yeah, I did. I was at some of the first ones, and then the most recent one I was at was this Monday because they was trying to let him out on the 5 month anniversary of her death. At the same time, her bridge dedication was going on, pretty much, which would have been a slap to the face of the family. And we all know, especially growing up, I've seen countless injustices happen, especially carried out by law enforcement. And I don't want that same thing to happen in Springfield because I'm sure a lot of us remember or have at least heard about what happened to Michael Brown. And that was only an hour and a half away from him. You seen what happened with Laquan McDonald in Chicago. That Chicago's 3 hours away from here. So we don't want the same circumstances to occur in this case. We want actual uh, the justice system to actually do its thing.
Who are some people in your life that have made an impact on your direction in life?
So the first one will always be my mom's because she's pretty much the one that gave me the blueprint for success. She was the one that taught me about how education was important, and she's still teaching me lessons to this day. Some other ones would be my connections with the community. Um, so I will highlight Shatria Smith from Garvey Tubman because a lot of what I was looking for in Black Springfield, she's pretty much the main one providing it. I like helping my community, and I like doing it in a meaningful way and being of Black Springfield instead of like generically. It has greater relevance to me. The last one I would say is Eve Doman. He runs Motherland Gardens. He's actually a former member of the BSU at Lincoln Land, and he's definitely a man that knows what he's doing. He got a lot of drive. He got a lot of hustle, and a lot of what he does is directly benefiting the community. He grows food on the east side where everybody recognizes the east side as a downtrodden kind of wasteland. But from that wasteland, he turned a little trash lot into a place to provide food. That's a blueprint for success. That's a blueprint to help a community enrich itself, empower itself, progress. So them three people is mainly the ones.
How has representation of Black people in Springfield shaped your life?
So it's kind of a funny story with that. I didn't realize Springfield was as black as it was because I didn't even know we was like 20% of the population, or it was over 20,000 of us until I was an adult. I didn't even know that they would have things like Juneteenth celebrations for the last 30 years on the east side, and how I didn't even know about a lot of Black Springfield history until again being an adult. And I understand that that being the case because obviously we're in the city of Lincoln, but when you're not able to tell it, when you're not able to gain representation or tell the history, you can't. It kind of stagnates a group, and I've always felt like that stagnation has affected me by wanting me to go seek out stronger representation in other places. But it's nowhere else like where you're from. So that's inspired me to try to bring help aid the reputation, Black representation in Springfield.
Do you feel there is enough Black representation in the community and county?
No, because again, city of Lincoln, but I believe it's really telling when you have a city, dedicated to white savior like Lincoln, but you don't know anything about the Black residents there. I didn't even know about the race riots till I was an adult. I feel like that should be definitely taught in schools here. And then if you look on the east side, which obviously the east side is the mainly Black side of Springfield, you see a lot of schools, or you don't see a lot of Black names there. You don't hear a lot of Black stories there. So, and that's provided to that's kind of created the environment of a lack of culture. Like Decatur has culture, Peoria has culture, Champaign has culture, uh, Chicago, St. Louis, obviously. We the main ones where it's like, oh, what's name some famous Black people from Springfield, or name some famous Black Springfield traditions, or some famous or locally famous or locally significant uh, things in Black Springfield. You can't really do it except for Juneteenth, but that only started gaining traction because the city kind of adopted it and kind of made it its thing. So I always do feel like that could be that always needs to be better. It's not enough to tell the story of like a person that liberated the liberated slaves, but the slaves have a story too, and they wasn't slave; they were enslaved. But people have stories, so to me, it's important to that definitely could be worked on.
What are some similarities and or differences between your high school and college experiences as it pertains to being Black?
So I would say in terms of similarities, I noticed the world around me in high school and in college. Like I spoke earlier, Trayvon Martin, not Trayvon Martin, that happened when I was in middle school. Michael Brown happened when I was in high school. Sonia Massey happened when I'm in college. Both are in cities or areas close to me. You know, both had an effect on me. Um, and then other than that, there to get education. I would say the differences start where in high school I knew I was Black, but it wasn't really big on my mind. I was more focused on like enjoying myself because I was a kid. But since I'm in college, I'm recognizing why being Black is important, or to recognize being Black is important, and I've experienced more of the culture in college. Because I'm part of the Black Student Union. I'm out in the community more. I'm linking up with projects and everything. High school, I just kind of did me, and yeah.
What is something that bonds you to the other people in your community?
Well, I definitely say straight up, it's like there's only one. I mean, yeah, there's multiple Springfields, but there's only one Springfield, Illinois. I'm part of the Black Springfield community. We're not Black Chicago. We're not Black St. Louis. We're not Black Peoria. We're Black Springfield. That's something that's something I'm willing to say with pride. And we definitely have potential. We just got to see it with ourselves, and if we act on it, build on it, work on a community, everybody else could recognize us. But I always, if I'm in Chicago and I recognize somebody from Springfield, that means something to me. If I'm in LA and somebody from Springfield, that means something to me. So being only, there's only one place where you're from, so I'm repping it.
What are some of the experiences that you have had with the Black Student Union on campus and in the community?
So some of the experiences I would say is we're doing things like the BSU Fest, where we bring high schoolers, black high schoolers. I don't think you got to be black, but we bring a black high school. We're single handedly. I'm not gonna say anything. We're a big influence on a lot of now. We're a big influence on a lot of black students that consider Lincoln Land an option. So in that way, we're connecting the campus community. We all know about the school to prison pipeline. We're making a community to college pipeline, and yeah, so the BSU Fest is one of them. Um, we did the chalk to walk for Sonia Massey because you just don't go to campus and the whole world doesn't matter. It matters whether you're on campus or you back home. So we did that. We also are committed to telling or try to help the community tell this story. So we did a screening for No Title for Tracy, which was a story I didn't know about again until I was an adult, but it was a documentary focusing on a black valedictorian from my former high school, Springfield High. They didn't want to recognize her, and she had a documentary, and we shared that, and we even engaged with her sister, and you know, I was proud of that moment because it's like we're representing ourselves. We're actively our activities have uh, our activities have intent behind them, and they're awesome. So yeah.
How would you see the campus connecting to the community?
So uh, I would say I would see it that way, or I don't know. Can you be more specific with that?
In what ways can the campus and the community
Okay,
interconnect?
cool. Yeah, yeah. So one of the ways is volunteering. So if you, like I was saying earlier, you can create a community college pipeline. It's always about reaching back and pulling people up. So we got students from the community, some not from the community, or from Springfield, not from Springfield. If we integrate them in the community, uh, you know, regardless what activities do, like the coat drives we've done, food distributions we've done, um, working with Motherland Gardens, working with Garvey Tubman, working with One in a Million, we may be able to the BSU Fest. We may be able to our presence may be able to be noticed, and people will be like, "Oh, college instead of being some like mythical place, we're seeing us there, and they're coming back here. I could do the same thing. Creates a loop, creates a circle. Okay, BSU members in the community, BSU members at school, BSU members at meeting, BSU members or BSU with relevant people in the community and everything. Our presence is there. We create a path to follow for everybody else, and that's how we can have the influence. That's how we got presence and really connect the campus community.
What are your future plans? Do you plan to stay in the Springfield area?
Mm, so my next plans is to go to St. Louis for college because it's close to Springfield, and a lot of what I feel is missing in Springfield I could find in St. Louis. But I'm not planning to move far away from Springfield, not yet. Maybe I will, maybe I don't. That's a future me thing. But I would every anything I do outside of Springfield, I would like to bring back to Springfield. I would like to, you know, try to bring, try to bring new ideas to it. Um, like I said earlier, like I believe we have potential, and I believe meeting, experiencing other cultures, and taking from them and bring it back here, which could better connect everywhere else. I feel like no matter where you go, you should keep your community in mind, and if you know something that could benefit your community, you should definitely bring it back. So that's kind of my plans right now.
Thank you for participating in Lincolnland Community College's Honors and Action Project.